In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Bieffe notebook. I'll go over the specs, I will do a paper test, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this notebook coming up. Here I have a Bieffe notebook. Now, if this looks sort of familiar, it may be because this is actually the company that makes that choosing keeping notebook that I did a review of a little while ago. I'll put a link to that up in the corner. This is an Italian company based in Rome, and they just make, I think, a really fantastic looking notebook. I do carry these at the Paper Mine now, and they come in a medium size like I have here, which is 6.5 by 4.75. There's a smaller, like 3 by 5-ish size, and then there's an A5 size as well. And they just have such a great look to them. They're very fun to use. We have this faux leather cover here, which is embossed. They're very floppy. They have these, they call them finger dabbed edges here, which are done in red, and it just has a very handmade look. You can see it kind of spills onto the page. These just look very, very cool. They are $8 in the medium size here, and you get 64 cream pages. We offer them in blank, but ruled version, which we may be carrying later, but 6mm rule here. It's a pretty dark rule, I will say. I do like that we have these nice spacing around the margins here, and the logo on here is a hooded crow, which is a type of bird that is very common in Rome, and you can see it's sort of standing on 3 books here in gold foil. It looks really nice, rounded corners. It is a staple bind here, just in the middle, so it's essentially one signature, if you want to say that. And here we can see Bieffe made in Italy. And now if we open it, we're going to start seeing some things that look very much like that choosing keeping notebook. Quaderno D, this is notebook of, so this is a place for your name. And then it says Orario Settimentale delle Lesione. Okay, I'm not going to read this, but it basically just says weekly class schedule, and then we have the days of the week here in Italian, which I think is pretty neat. Again, we have that finger-dipped book block situation here, so it kind of just the red spills onto the edge of the page. I love the way that that looks. It's super cool. And then we go right into the 6mm ruling here. We, at the bottom here, again have that little hooded crow, and then in the back we have a Pythagorean table, and we also have, says here, Prodotto Artigianale. I don't know, I really shouldn't speak Italian. It just says it's handmade and made in Italy, or a handcrafted product made in Italy. And then if we go to the paper test here, it's quite good. This is very lightweight paper. We do see a little bit of feathering on the Pilot 6mm and the Mont Blanc 149 OBB nib. The rest of the fountain pens look good. We also see bleeding on the Pilot High-Tech Point 1.0. I've moved this pen into the troublemaker section in the last year because this pen just really, very few papers can actually handle this High-Tech Point pen. But actually the face of the rest of the troublemakers looks pretty good. Now if we go to the back here, none of the fountain pens bled through at all, even though we got just a hair of feathering on the Pilot 6mm and the Mont Blanc 149 OBB. None of it came through. All the fountain pens passed. Even the roller balls did really, really well. The Pilot High-Tech Point, we can just see tiny bits of spotting coming through. This is a paper where, you know, what is on the front, I feel like, is more problematic than what shows up on the back. Usually, pens will look okay on the front, but then there'll be some bleeding through to the back. That's kind of not what we're seeing here. The troublemaker pens, we did see some spotting and bleed through, which is, you know, as to be expected. Really, for me, for my purposes, I can write with the Pilot 6mm on this. I think this looks good. Same with the Mont Blanc 149 OBB. you're going to be able to write on both sides of the paper with this. I did a double pass on this 6mm Pilot Parallel pen. No issues. It's very good. Because this is just like that choosing keeping notebook, it does require a little bit of coaxing to lay flat, but it will lay flat. It just takes a little bit of work. And that's kind of just the nature of these staple and saddle stitched, bindings. It's a really nice notebook. Come in a couple different sizes, a couple different colors. I think we have black and red. We may carry the brown color in the future. They also come in little sets with like a twine packaging that looks really nice. These are just enjoyable notebooks. It feels like something old because it is made in an old kind of way with just materials that I just don't see on a lot of other pocket notebooks. It's a very nice notebook. So what are my pros and cons for the Bieffe notebook? Well, I think the biggest pro here is that this notebook just looks fantastic. It has a vintage look with this leatherette-like vinyl, the crow on the cover here, the hand-colored book block here. It just has a really cool old school look that I really enjoy. It's very easy to pocket because it is so flexible. The paper is a very pretty cream color and it's very fountain pen friendly while still being lightweight. You can absolutely write on both sides of this paper, even with like a OBB nib. It does really nicely. I like their little bird logo even on the page here. It's just a nice notebook. $8, very reasonably priced for I think something that looks this nice and that performs this well for fountain pens. In terms of cons, the binding does take some coaxing to get it to lay flat, but it will lay flat. You just have to kind of bend it back a bit. The ruling is pretty dark, but I don't mind it too much. That is pretty much it. It's really just the binding and maybe the dark ruling that I don't like about it. Otherwise, this is a very nice notebook. Do you guys have this notebook? Do you like this notebook? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and until next time.